So, I wanted to make this video about Craig because recently, when I would watch people videos about Degrassi, there's either one or two things I hear about Craig: that he had no character development, and that he's one of the characters in Degrassi, excuse me, that fans shouldn't like. Which I'm very confused on. Those two things right there are going to be the main two things I talk about in this defense video for Craig. There's no question about it. I watched Degrassi numerous of times. I am a big fan of Craig. I'm a big fan of Jake Epstein, the actor who plays Craig. I feel like Jake Epstein was an amazing actor. He acted the fuck out of Craig. I don't think there was anyone else who could have played Craig and really put out the emotion we really saw from Craig's character if Jake Epstein didn't play him. For as long as Craig was on Degrassi, he was really one of my favorite characters from the OG cast. I don't know, I just felt like Craig was a cool character. Did he make dumbass decisions? Yes, that's what makes him a good character. Because he's flawed. He's not perfect. So let me get this straight. Hold on. Craig is a piece of shit. So what is Peter? Because they try to give Peter a redemption arc. Like, we finna forget that he didn't exploit Manny on the internet of videotaping her while she was drunk. Took advantage of her while she was drunk and videotaped her when showing her titties. So we're just going to forget that he did that. We're also going to forget that he also exploited Darcy on the internet. That he actually sent the pictures that he was just putting online for her profile to an online creep. And then she dated this guy. This nigga Peter did so much fuck shit. We're going to forget that he hit someone and then blamed it on Sean. We're also going to forget he planted drugs in Sean's locker. So Peter is the definition of scum. And yet for some reason, the writers wanted to give him a redemption arc. Fans can like him and say, oh, he's overly hated. But a character like Craig gets shitted on, drugged through the mud because of what? I just don't get it. Like I said, did Craig make dumb decisions? Yes, absolutely. Did he not take accountability for some? I agree. I think because here's my thing with the love triangle, right? We finna talk about the character development, right? Before we gonna talk about the character development and people feeling like he did wrong shit. Actually, no. Let's talk about the wrong shit that he did and why I feel like some of it wasn't a big deal. And then we're gonna talk about his character development because this is a defense video. So Craig, the dumb shit that he did. All right, let's get to it. When it comes to the love triangle, I feel like him and Manny were both in the wrong. For those who just say, oh, it's Manny's fault because she was being a slut and she went after a guy who was in a relationship, Craig is also wrong. Because let me ask you something. After all that shit happened and after Craig and Manny cut it off, why the fuck was Manny giving Ashley an apology? Manny was the side bitch. She was the side chick. She don't owe Ashley any loyalty. She don't owe her an apology. She was the side bitch who took her man. If anyone should have been giving Ashley an apology, it should have been Craig. I'll give you guys that. Yes, he should have gave Ashley an apology. A genuine apology. Which he did not give her until she made him look like a fool. He should have gave her an apology the second she found out off top. Or let her cool off, then give her an apology. That's what should have happened. But to tell her to her face that you did what you did because she was being approved and that you feel like because y'all are together, she owed you sex, that's being a jerk. Yes, I can agree with y'all. Yes, I definitely agree with y'all. Yes. Craig mouth could be a little slicky sometimes, and he might have said that in the heat of the moment because he didn't mean it. But Ashley is just irritating. I'm not saying she deserved to get cheated on. I'm not saying that at all. I feel like with the whole situation in season 3 with him and Ashley, I feel like Ashley was trying to rush. She was there, but Craig wasn't there. I feel like she needed to be more patient with him because she needed to understand Craig has no father. Craig has no mother. He just has Joey, who he doesn't really talk to when it comes to sex and relationships. He doesn't have anyone who's really there to tell him how to romantically treat a woman. So for him saying those words, it was really hard. I just don't get why she couldn't understand that. I feel like in the moment when he wrote this song, it was like do or die. So it was like if I don't show her something, I lose her. And I don't think he wanted to lose Ashley, which means he might have wrote a song that he didn't mean, but which is pretty fucked up. But it's like I just feel like in that situation, I feel like Ashley was trying to rush him. And that's just how I feel like she was trying to rush him to where she was, and he just wasn't there yet. But Manny had it all worked out. She had the whole plan worked out in her head. Because the moment Craig told her he was not fucking with her like that in season 2, she was bitter. She was upset because she got tired of all the guys saying that she was adorable. So when she saw that Craig and Ashley got into a fight, she followed Craig, and she took advantage of him. She took advantage of Craig's vulnerability, told him a bunch of nothing, and then she gave her cootie cat up to him, knowing that's the reason why him and Ashley got into a fight to begin with, because he's ready for sex and Ashley isn't. Manny gave up the one thing that she know would keep Craig coming back, which it actually did. Yes, Craig is a piece of shit because he cheated on his girlfriend. He tried to have his cake and eat it too. He wanted Ashley and he wanted Manny because he didn't want to stop fucking with Manny and he didn't break up with Ashley. He wanted both of them, but he just didn't know how to say that. He didn't know how to be a real nigga and just say, Manny, I want you, and Ashley, I want you. I want both of y'all. I don't want to let go you or you. You feel me? He could have just been straight up. But as far as people saying he owed Manny an apology, Manny an apology for what? She put herself in that predicament. She came to Craig and gave her pussy up. What are you talking about? She gave up the one thing that she know will keep Craig coming back. He was not having sex with Ashley. Since Manny gave it up, therefore it's free access. Meaning she's going to give it to him whenever she see him, right? Because she really liked Craig. Manny really liked the Craig. And she needed a reason. Manny really liked the Craig, and she needed a reason for him to keep coming back. So she gave him the one thing that would keep him from coming back. I just don't understand. Like, y'all put Manny on this pedestal like she can't do no wrong, which I think is just ridiculous. It's the same problem I got with Lucas's character for One Tree Hill. You fans really be on Lucas' dick. Like, y'all put this man on a pedestal like he does no wrong. Well, honestly, he's one of the most flawed characters I've ever seen. Yes, Lucas is a great guy. He was there for everybody whenever they needed something. Yes, he could have been in... Yes, he probably had a problem being in other people's business. But the one thing I did not like about Lucas's character is that he always had to hurt someone just to get what he wanted. I'm not fucking with that. I'm just not. And for anyone's argument to say, well, whoever he was dating at the time knew how he felt about that other person, are you saying they deserve to get cheated on? Because that's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Just like with Manny, for you guys to say, oh, Craig owed her an apology. Owed her an apology for what? She put herself in that spot to have sex with a guy, knowing he was in a relationship, losing her virginity, and getting pregnant. What did he owe her an apology for? I just don't get it. Like, he doesn't owe her anything because at the end of the day, they both knew what was going on and what could potentially happen. Manny put herself in that spot. She should have just... Craig and Manny should have just never been in a relationship. They should just call it a fling and left it as that. But Manny really wanted this guy for whatever reason, so she went out her way to make sure he became hers. You feel me? Like, it just wasn't worth it. It just wasn't. I just don't get it. Like, when he said he wasn't fucking with her like that in season 2, she should have just left it as that. When he said that, she should have went and found someone who really was trying to fuck with her like that, instead of just trying to fuck with her when they want to actually fuck. Like, I just don't get it. So, yes, I agree. Craig did do some fucked up shit. And I do feel like at the time he should have gave Ashley a real apology instead of doing some shit like, oh, I would have never ran to Manny if you just would have had sex with me and you wasn't a prude and yada, yada, yada. Like, that's just a jerky thing to say, you feel me? Like, it's asshole-ish. But he was young and immature. And in high school, guys, you know, they horny, they want to have sex. And they feel like if we're in a relationship and shit like that, why not try it? You feel me? But I don't think if you're in a relationship with someone you feel like you're just owed sex. Like, that's not how it go. It's not how it go. Like, we're dating, you think you're owed sex. Like, like, that's what he was like. That's like how he was trying to word it. He was talking to Ashley like, oh, you was approved, yada yada. It's like he was trying to say, oh, she owed him sex. Like, I don't owe you shit. I don't owe you anything. If he wanted sex, he should have broke up with Ashley and could have went to Manny, because that's the type of time she was on. And he could have been having sex with Manny every day, all day, if that's the type of time he was on. Instead of trying to build a real relationship with someone who really wanted commitment. Well, at the time he just wanted sex. That's what you really do. But except he was immature and he just couldn't say that. Like I said, he was trying to have his cake and eat it too. So yes, I agree. In that love triangle, him and Manny were both in the wrong. Not just him and Manny. And yes, I also think it was wrong for Craig to tell Ellie that he loved her just so he can continue to do drugs. I don't think it was right, because he knew how Ellie felt about him. I know Craig knew Ellie was in love with him since season 5. I mean, there was no way in hell he didn't know. Ellie was so in love with Craig to where she didn't hide it. Like, most people would hide it. She didn't hide it. Like, she kind of like was with, kind of like Manny a little bit. Instead, she didn't show her ass and was being thirsty. Instead, she always said, like, sweet things that was like, oh, she definitely sounded like she in love. You feel me? He was wrong to tell Ellie he loved her, knowing just so he get his drugs, knowing how she felt. It was wrong. He was wrong as fuck to be all cuddle up, lovey-dovey with Ellie on the beach in the Hollywood episodes when he know he had a relationship. Like, it was just wrong, because it just felt like he just was stringing or leading Ellie on knowing how she felt. Like, I agree with y'all. When it comes to relationships, Craig isn't the most brightest person. He isn't perfect. But like I just said, he came from an abusive father. His mother was gone. And him and Joey don't talk about sex or romance. So he was trying to learn from himself as a man how to treat a woman. He was learning how to do it, because he never been a boyfriend before, so therefore he's going to make mistakes. But Craig did make mistakes, but I felt like, I don't know, I feel like because his character left so fast in season 5, I feel like he didn't really get that chance to really redeem himself. I feel like had he stayed a little longer and maybe graduated, I feel like he could have really worked on himself and finally gave those people that he did some horrible shit to, finally give them the apologies they really deserve. Because if you ask me, it makes no sense for Manny to date this nigga after everything that happened. It makes no sense for her to date him, but it just didn't. It makes absolutely no sense for Manny to be with this guy after all the shit that happened and what he did. It just didn't. So yes, I would agree with y'all there. Craig did make mistakes, but he's not perfect. But I don't think he should be shit on because his mistakes. Because at least he tried to apologize to the people he did fuck things to. At least he did apologize. Unlike Peter, who just continuing to do fuck shit. He never gave anyone an apology. He never served any punishment for anything that he did. That's just on period. Now, this whole thing of Craig not having any character development, I'm really confused on this, because in my opinion, I feel like the seasons that Craig was in were really like wrapped around his character. 2, 3, 4, and 5 to me were like Craig's characters shining the fuck out. Season 5, he's going away, he's torn by himself, he's singing by himself. Season 4, we find out he has a bipolar disorder. Season 3, he got the love triangle mess. Season 2, he's getting abused by his father. Craig always had interesting storylines going on, and all those current events changed him. They made him into a different person. Like, I don't get this whole thing, oh, Craig doesn't have any character development. Craig has more character development than some of the characters who were around, who were there before him, in my opinion. Okay. I can name a couple. Craig has more character development than Toby. He has more character development than Toby, JT, Liberty, Jimmy, Ashley. Let's see, somebody else that I'm thinking of. He got more character development than half of the new characters that was in the newer cast. I'm not gonna name them because it's like a lot, but he had more character development than the characters I just named. Like, you knew stuff about Craig, you knew his lifestyle. They actually gave him storylines. Them characters I just name dropped, they barely gave him. Like, what storylines did Toby get? What storylines did JT and Liberty get before they got the pregnancy storyline? Don't worry, I'll wait. Like, what storylines did they get? I'm like, just tell me, like, what storylines did they get? So that whole argument, oh, Craig didn't get any character development, and they just made his character all around dating. Man, are you fucking serious? No. Characters who had no character development, who just dated, are characters like Ali Bendari. Ali literally has no character development. Her character, literally since the moment she's been introduced in season 8, has done nothing but date till her class was over. She's done nothing but date. That's all Ali did. She just dated. She just dated guys. That's all she did. All she did was date. But yet, she has character development and Craig doesn't. That makes no sense. That argument literally makes no type of sense. So, I'm really over everyone shitting on Craig's character. People who say he shouldn't be liked. It makes no sense when he had some of the best storylines, some of the best moments in the show. You think of jaw-dropping moments in the show. Off top, I'm thinking some of Craig's best acting moments, like where he really stood out. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Craig is one of my favorite characters in Degrassi. Like, my list of Degrassi characters are mainly male characters. He's like number one. Like, I honestly love Craig. Like, Jake Epstein really did his big one playing Craig. I just love Craig's character. I love that he wasn't perfect. But off top of that, I like characters who give me drama. And he gave me drama. Craig gave drama. Craig just always had a storyline going on. And he just was always interested on the screen. Craig came on the screen, you knew some good shit was about to happen. That's just how I felt. I feel like when Craig came on the screen, good shit was about to happen. So, this whole thing, oh, he was this, oh, he had no character development. Y'all really need to shut the fuck up. Y'all need to stop it. Because Craig had more character development than half the people I named. Let me name them again. He had more character development than Toby, JT, Liberty, Ashley, Marco, Ellie. Which I feel like is kind of crazy because with Ellie, I feel like they were going somewhere and then they just stopped. Like, I feel like they stopped and just made her a pick-me after that. But he had more character development than half of the characters I just named. And yet, y'all reasons to not like Craig is because of what? He did some bad things here and there. That makes no sense when I literally just said he didn't try to pretend like he didn't do those bad things. Peter, on the other hand, tried to pretend like he didn't do any bad things and just felt like he should have just been accepted. That makes no sense. So, just like characters, I feel like who are hated when there's way more people to hate. Like, I feel like Craig and Miles are just those characters that people hate. Like, they're not perfect. And to me, I feel like Craig and Miles kind of, like, they're not the same, but I feel like with them, I feel like whenever I saw Miles, we was going to get some good shit. Like, Miles was very rebellious. He always was into some shit. He was always doing something bad. And I felt like this is a character we're going to get to know more of. This is a rebellious rich kid. Why is he like this? And you get to know why Miles was like that. Miles was looking to be accepted. Miles wanted love. He wanted to be accepted by his father. He just wanted to be loved. This was a kid who didn't love himself, and it made him act out on attention because he didn't get it from the main people who were supposed to give it to him. So I just don't know. I feel like y'all arguments is just dumb sometimes. Y'all need to get off these. Y'all need to stop holding characters to a standard. Y'all need to be consistent. If this character do bad shit, hold the other character up for doing bad shit. Like, for instance, when people say, oh, okay, how about this? And I'm done. This is the last thing I'm going to say and I'm done talking. When people say Manny's strategy to get Emma to get with that guy Chris was disgusting, but they'll let it slide because it's Manny. That's putting her on a pedestal. Like, be consistent. If you was to call another character who would do some shit like that a slut, keep the same energy when it comes to Manny, because it was slutty. It was very wrong. You want your best friend to do the same thing you're doing. To be desperate and to give up the one thing that you know will have him calling back, even though he won't make you his. Girl, that makes no sense. You just desperate. So no. Y'all need to stop holding characters to one bar and then hold another character up to that bar. It's not fair. Y'all need to be consistent. Final thoughts. I love Craig. I think Craig is one of the best characters in Degrassi. I feel like Jake Epstein was an incredible actor, phenomenal. I don't think Craig should get all the hate that he gets. I think some of y'all are just very closed-minded and just want to hate him just for because. That's the end of this video. See y'all later.